Hello and welcome to Manga Tori 96, and today we're going to talk about Mato Seihei no Slave. In honor of achieving victory in the second consecutive popularity poll, thereby cementing herself as the undisputed best girl in the series, which is quite a feat considering how fierce the competition actually is. Considering all of this, it's time to talk about the queen herself. But before we start, here's the spoiler warning, as I'll be spoiling a lot of things in this video, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I would highly recommend that you go and read the manga, as it is an enjoyable read. For everyone else, let's start with who the 6th Anti-Demon Corps unit chief is. Tenka Izumo is the 6th unit chief, in addition to also being the close friend and rival of Kyoka Uzen. Tenka is a calm, mature and good-natured woman, which was noted from her interaction around the 7th unit, rarely showing anything but a light-hearted and genuine demeanor. Dissimilar from Yachio, she is confident in her abilities and her unit, but not overconfident and never looks down on others like the latter. It is noted that she refers to others affectionately, such as calling Kyoka Kyochin and Yuki at first Slave-kun. Similar to Kyoka, the members of her unit look up to Tenka, and she in turn cares about them deeply. She does not mind if any of them lose a battle, taking it as a lesson for them, giving them all advice after all. She will gladly jump in to save her subordinates' lives from any opponent. She developed an initial interest in Yuki, not looking down on him for being a man or slave. Those feelings progressed as she witnessed him fighting and helping others, causing her to develop strong feelings for him. She is very brash and straightforward in her interest with him, attempting to seduce him after only meeting him recently. She often flirts with him alone or in front of others, even asking Kyoka if she could have Yuki herself. In fact, though Tenka hadn't shown anger before, she hated the fact that Yuki was kidnapped by the humanoid Shuki led by his older sister. Her feelings were such that she couldn't bring herself to hurt Aoba since she knew how much she meant to Yuki, instead taking a hit head-on. She is also not one to hold grudges, as her interaction with Aoba following their fight are shown to be ambitious, even somewhat sisterly. As for her abilities, like all the other women, Tenka attained a unique power, having devoured one of the peaches from Mato. As one of the Anti-Demon Corps chiefs, she is much more powerful than normal demon hunters, and as such is one of the strongest women in the organization. Befitting the 6th unit chief, Tenka has the highest authority among the 6th unit. As a testament to her strength, Tenka was capable of defeating a Shuki horde alone. Then fought against an overpowered one of the 8 thunder gods, Rairen, almost killing him if Shikoku hadn't saved him. Her peach power is called Ame no Mitori, which she is able to manipulate space and can teleport from one location to another. However, she needs to touch someone else to teleport them. She can twist the space around her opponents, ignoring all their defenses, making it a sure kill move. She is capable of also teleporting around the battlefield 666 times without stopping. As for her relationship with Yuki, she develops an initial interest in Yuki after hearing about him from several rumors and often refers to him as Slave-kun at first, but in a friendlier manner. Her interests have become deeper after seeing him fight alongside Himari in the exhibition games as her slave against her wife's chief Yachio, and later against the Shuki horde, referring to him as a good slave, willing to use himself for the benefit of others. She started having different feelings about him that she hadn't before, to where she began to wonder more about Yuki, to the point of watching him sleep once and asking Kyoka if he could become hers. Tenka even snuck into his room again, then sought a real relationship with Yuki, finding his normal mindset as both noble and cute, progressing to her doing sexual things such as kissing, groping and attempting to have sex with him. After Yuki was kidnapped by his older sister and taken to the hidden village, Tenka showed anger and irritation for the first time after having him stolen, meaning he's precious enough that she will do anything to protect him. She has proven to be jealous after seeing Kyoka give Yuki his reward from the priest transformation, licking and sucking on his fingers, then joined in and referred to herself as Yuki's girlfriend and Aoba's sister, showing intention to wanting to marry him. She hesitated in dealing a fatal attack to Aoba after recalling just how much his older sister meant to him, and later imagined a future with him as his wife and bearing his child. As for her relationship with Kyoka, Tenka and Kyoka are friends and rivals, were both chiefs of the 6th and 7th unit respectively, competing for the position of Anti-Demon Corps commander. Despite this, it doesn't ruin their friendship both of them share, often going to one another's unit base or either business or times off. Their relationship is further shown as she often refers to her as Kyochin. As for her relationship with Aoba, Tenka and Aoba were hostile towards one another as a chief and a humanoid Shuki who directed their intention of rebelling against the Anti-Demon Corps, but she introduced herself to Aoba as Yuki's girlfriend. Despite all the ill intention directed at her after mentioning the relationship, Tenka had still referred to Aoba as sister, as well as acknowledged that she was a dangerous foe, but couldn't bring herself to dealing a little hit since she was still Yuki's older sister. Following their hostile encounter with the Thunder Gods, Aoba immediately dropped her hostility to still reprimand Tenka for referring to herself as Yuki's girlfriend. Since then, the two have bonded and become close friends as Tenka has continuously helped the humanoid Shuki in their hidden village. As for her role in the story, after Kyoka encounters a humanoid Shuki while on a mission, Tenka and her vice chief Yachio visit the 7th unit dorm. Upon her arrival, Tenka meets Yuki, the 7th unit's housekeeper and Kyoka's rumored slave, and she takes an instant liking to him. Tenka, Yachio and the 7th unit gather in the meeting room where Tenka explains that she wishes to discuss the new orders from headquarters regarding Kyoka's discovery of the humanoid Shuki, which disputed that unit should cooperate more frequently. During the discussion, Yachio belittles her sister Himari, vice chief of the 7th unit, but Tenka tries to change the subject by mentioning that the 3rd unit was defeated, supposedly, by a different humanoid Shuki. Still, Yachio continues to mock Himari, which resulted in Kyoka proposing an exhibition match between the 6th and 7th units, which Tenka agrees to. She and Yachio then depart to prepare for the match. A few days later, Tenka and her subordinates Yachio and Sahara Wakasa return to the 7th unit for the start of the exhibition match. After the preparations are completed, the two units gather outside the 7th unit dorm and prepare to face off. Gina Bison from the 10th unit acts as the referee and puts up a barrier via her Gina Club ability that will heal all injuries of those within and keep out any invading Shukis. The first match commences with Yachio going up against Himari and Yuki as her slave. Yachio fights fiercely but is ultimately defeated by Himari, and Tenka takes the defeat in a stride, seeing it as a lesson for her team. Tenka discusses the match with Yachio, giving her guidance on how to improve her performance, but also notes that based on his selfishness during the match, Yuki is a true slave. Shortly afterwards, the second match begins with Sahara facing off against Sushu. Ultimately, Sahara prevails against Sushu, providing a victory for the 6th unit. Abruptly, a swarm of Shuki and a mysterious figure identifying himself as Rairen appear and break down Gina's barrier and attack. Using her Ame no Mitori ability, Tenka transports Gina and Nei to safety before transporting back to join the ensuing battle. During the battle, Yachio battles Reiner one-on-one, but she is overpowered by the invader. Before Reiner can finish her off, Tenka arrives in time to save Yachio and take over the fight for her. Tenka informs Reiner that she has already eliminated most of the Shukis, allowing Yachio to escape, and that she is aware that Reiner has two other comrades nearby. She battles him, and though he puts up a formidable fight, Tenka is able to dodge and toss him around with her ability. After teleporting Reiner into the air, she creates a massive vortex that sucks him in, as well as most of the surrounding Shukis, seemingly destroying him. Once the remaining Shuki have been defeated, the 6th and 7th units and Gina reconvene. Tenka and Kyoka observe that there are still two enemy commanders that are unaccounted for, and conclude that Mato exhibition games have ended in a tie. With that, Tenka and the rest of the 6th unit take their leave. Having developed an attraction to Yuki, Tenka uses her ability to enter his bedroom one night and watch him as he sleeps. Kyoka, Yuki and Himari visit the 6th unit dorm for a meeting and Tenka takes special notice of Yuki. She and Kyoka meet alone and discuss their strategies for dealing with Shuki and humanoid Shuki. Afterwards, Tenka boldly requests to have Yuki for herself. She reasons that she has always been bored when alone and wants a loyal companion, but Kyoka is reluctant to give up Yuki and suggests alternatives. Still, Tenka insists that she wants Yuki specifically, and seeing that Tenka will not back down, Kyoka stands firm that she will not give up Yuki. Tenka makes one final offer to support Kyoka in the upcoming commander election, but Kyoka still refuses. She asks if she can at least meet Yuki in private, and Kyoka replies that she will not intervene. Later that day, Tenka surprises Yuki by appearing in his room via her ability and abruptly asks if he will go out with her. Yuki is flattered but unsure whether or not Tenka sees him as a pet. She attempts to seduce Yuki and clarifies that while she sees him as a pet now, she may see him as more if he grows stronger. Tenka then gives him a tender kiss which overwhelms her as well, and she pushes him onto the bed as she starts to take her clothes off. As Tenka examines Yuki's body, she asks him to confirm his feelings and flustered, he replies that it's too soon for him to proceed. However, she teasingly says that this means she still has a chance with him and tries to seduce him even more. However, they are suddenly interrupted as Sushu barges into Yuki's room to inform him about a Shuki attack. Caught in the act, Tenka joins the rest of the 7th unit outside and apologizes to Kyoka for causing a disturbance. Kyoka transforms Yuki and the two defeat an invading Shuki. Afterwards, Tenka returns to the 6th unit dorm, still very interested in Yuki. Sometime later, Tenka, Yachio, Kyoka, Himari and Yuki arrived at the Azuma estate for the Azuma banquet. They are greeted and escorted by Tobera Azuma, the current head of the Azuma family. Tenka assures Tobera that she wanted to be present to support Yachio, after which she presents Tobera a box of treats as a gift. After joining up with the other contenders, Tobera announces the start of the Azuma banquet. Tobera activates a portal that sends Yachio and the other contenders to a remote island where the battle will be held, while Tenka and Tobera stay behind to watch the battle. As the banquet unfolds, Himari and Yuki go up against Homare, and after a fierce battle, they emerge victorious against her. Shortly afterwards, 4 of the contenders, including Homare, are brought back to the estate, having been eliminated, and Tobera announces that the main dish is about to begin, as Himari faces off against Fubuki. Pushed to the edge after Fubuki insults Kyoka's leadership, Himari awakens the hidden power of her learning ability, which greatly impresses Tenka and the others. Although she puts a valiant fight, Himari is still not strong enough to beat Fubuki. Miyachio and Mai, the last remaining contenders, willfully yield, and the banquet ends with Fubuki being declared the new head of the Azuma family. Afterwards, as Fubuki takes command of the family, she asks for Tenka's continued cooperation with the family, which Tenka happily agrees to. Sometime later, Tenka visits Aoba to give her updates on Yuki's activities. Aoba is delighted and thanks Tenka for checking in on her, even though she knows it put her position at risk. With this, I covered everything that I wanted to cover on Tenka. And that will be all for this video. If you like this video, leave a like, leave your thoughts in the comments below, or subscribe to the channel for more manga reviews and One Piece content. And until next time, take care.